Some people say, hey, I got flat feet. No, you don't. You got weak feet. You need to train those arches. All right, we on to bing bang. We on to the coiled, the racks, the supported, the kettlebell racked, supported, coiled, or coiling lunge. Right, so it's a step back lunge. It's coiling because notice I'm rotational. When you watch a lot of people lunge, they stay very squared in the body. That's not what we're doing here. We want to be rotational. So as we sink into this lunge, in this rack supported position, notice the bell is going over my standing leg. Okay, the leg that's standing on the ground or that I'm lunging over. The back leg is only used for a balancing support. We're not actually keeping weight on it. It's more like a 80-20 or 90-10. You could essentially do the lunge without that back foot ever touching the ground. Bang. But the key is we're being very rotational, so it's mimicking uppercut technology, it's mimicking slip technology, sprint technology. We're very rotational beings, so we want to make sure we're training rotationally, right? So to get it up into position, we're just gonna do a simple, you can get it up however you want, but if it's a heavier kettlebell, we're doing a simple two-handed, one kettlebell, supported, one-sided clean. A lot of words into that, but just using two hands to get it up. And then your other hand, your off hand just supports it while it's in that rack position. And then from there, we get into the lunge. If you're racked on the left side, you wanna be lunging over your right leg so we can rotate in and have the bell over the leg you're lunging over. So your center of mass becomes your standing leg rather than between two legs. So I'm gonna do a ton of reps and maybe I'll keep talking if I have more things to say. So we get it up and we rotate. It's very similar to throwing a punch, throwing an elbow, you know what I'm saying? Preparing your body to throw an uppercut. We're coiling. If you can imagine the way a coil or a spiral works. We're coiling into that lead leg, into that lead hip. Some key points about the feet. We want to make sure we're keeping our inside ankle bone high, and we have the pressure of our body weight around our arch, the arch of the foot, kind of from that power triangle, but we're forcing our arch, the arch of the foot, to stay high, inside ankle bone high. So as you're lunging, we're not allowing that to collapse, because that's gonna cause reactions up the chain, the kinetic chain. That's gonna lead to poor movement patterns, larger risk of injury, and you're training yourself when we're trying to practice better organic spiraling movement that produces power, that produces sprinting, when we're cutting and stuff, we don't want to be in that position. If you watch slow motion footage of athletes tearing their Achilles, tearing their ACL, tearing their knees and stuff, you'll notice if you look at the foot pattern, that inside ankle bone is dropping and that arch is collapsing. Some people say, hey, I got flat feet. No, you don't. You got weak feet. You need to train those arches and train maintaining those arches. That's the wrong side. Train maintaining those arches when you're under load and when you're in positions of power and strength and control and motor and action and movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, train yourself to use your feet properly. You got weak feet, this is how you build stronger feet. Also, fun fact, the arch is the most geometrically, one of the most geometrically sound structures, right? That's why we use archways for bridges. A triangle is very geometrically sound. An arch is like a rounded triangle, right? So same principles apply. Train your arches to be stronger and supported when you're loading them and doing things with them. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some more B-roll of this. I'm gonna just do a bunch more reps and then I'll get my cameraman to help me shoot whenever he comes back in the room. So clean it up however you can. If it's heavy kettlebell, I recommend doing the other version of it. Hey yo, can I get some B-roll? Can I get some B-roll?
What's that?
Just some film. You'll notice right now, I picked it up on the wrong side, but I'm still doing the same rotation. I'm just keeping it racked. So you could do it on either side, but I prefer you to have it on the contralateral or the opposite side. You can pick it up. Oh, I was talking about my feet. The arch is the inside, so I'm not gonna let it collapse when I'm lunging. We're practicing a strong structure there. As we're loading that leg and hip. Switch sides because I did a ton of reps on that side. You can also show my rotation, how I'm rotating into this lunge, where the kettlebell is moving above the center of mass into this left column. So notice the load, the weight, my body, everything is going into this column above this foot, right? So a lot of people will lunge squared, right? Like this. And they'll stay, I don't want to do it, wait. They'll stay in this bilateral plane here. That's already gonna hurt my knee when I'm doing it, my back knee. But they'll stay in this squared plane. And notice how from that down position to get up, I have to shift my weight forward anyways. So just keep your weight forward when you're doing this motion. Keep your weight in this column. It's like I'm slipping a punch. It's like I'm throwing a punch. It's like I'm throwing an elbow. It's like I'm getting ready to throw an uppercut. It's like I'm, getting ready to swing a bat. Human movement. It's like I'm sprinting. Right, we're getting into this column. Column being my left foot creates a column all the way up the body. My whole body shifts into that column as we're lunging, right? Boom. And that back foot is just for support, balance, but everything is going into this front leg. And then when you have the kettlebell loaded up, I prefer, if you're lunging over to the left side, to rack it on the right side. And then you're also shifting that weight into that column as you lunge. But again, it's not wrong. They call this ipsilateral versus contralateral or same-sided. It's not wrong to have the kettlebell on the same side. That just keeps the weight already above that base. And you just rotate your offhand into it. But that's a lot of reps. And I'm tired. Come on. Nice.